Okay, guys, it's time to put your thinking helmets on for the RuneQuiz. Now, here we are. Let me introduce the gang behind me. We've got Mod Trance, Mod Tom H, Mod Chaos, Mod DC3PO, Mod Liam, and your host, Mod Moltare.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RuneQuiz 2013. Thank you for joining us for what promised to be a mashup of the best parts of a pub quiz and your favorite panel shows. Before we start, I should tell you a little about the voting pads that you hopefully have held in your hot little hands. When you press the buttons on your pad at the correct time, it will register the option you have voted for. If you press again on a different number, it will change the option you have voted for and will continue to do so until you've stopped pressing the buttons. At that point, it will remember the last option you pressed, and that will be registered as your answer for the questions. That's to remind you, the only vote that will register is the last button you press. Responses are held as the numbers of the voting pads, not by names or anything else, so at the end you'll want to check on the back to see who's done how well in the scoring. Right then, let's meet the teams. On my right, we have a man who, unlike most people, has an entire filing cabinet in the HR department detailing his exploits. It's Mod Liam.
Hello.
Also on my right, a man who owns a little black book in which he keeps the names of all those he has not yet teabagged. Mod Dean. Right on my left, a lady so wee and cute that she needs a booster seat on her booster seat. It's Mod Trance. And on the far left, a man who has incurred my ire for questioning lore content that I have no idea how to answer him on more times than I care to mention. It's Mod Chaosy. So before we get going, just to test out that the voting pads are working correctly, and to get you into the swing of things, let's ask an icebreaker question. Now, obviously there is a correct answer to this, but we've not put one down on the slides. As such, please use your voting pads to decide which of the following gods has the most sensible philosophy. Is it Saradomin? Is it Bandos? Is it Zamorak? Or is it Armadil? Let's see those options now, please.
Is that right? 2.
All right, let's see how they did, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. We don't seem to have any words on the screen, but it looks like Armadil's quite popular. Well, as I say, there's not really any correct answer in theory. So, let's carry on and introduce to you the format of tonight's entertainment. You'll find 11 quiz questions. Pub quiz questions, they are devious, they are evil, and we're starting with a nice easy one. Interspersed with that, there are 6 mod requests, where I will be asking our panel here to perform various challenges for your adulation. When they're done, you can vote on which one you liked best, and they'll be scored separately on the board you see behind you. So let's move on to question 1. Question 1 is, how many different types of dragon can be found in RuneScape? Is it 3? Is it 10? Is it 12, or are there 18 different types of dragon found in RuneScape? Start voting now. And time's up. Let's see how they did. Let's show your votes, please. Some say 10, some say 12. More say 12 than 10. Interesting. Let's see now then what the correct answer is. It is 10.
Yeah, winner.
Those of you who said 12 may have been confused by the fact that the Queen Black Dragon and the King Black Dragon are in fact black dragons. So it looks like after the first round, it's a point each to Liam and to Dean, and a point to 44% of the audience. Well done, those of you who got it right. Question 2, then. Question 2 is a particularly simple one for many people. Which of the following is a correctly spelled Marjarat? Let's see the options, please. It is 1, Athanakos, 2, Karshai, 3, Jalarast, or 4, Wahizatel. Let's start the voting now.
Copy my answers. I think Dean's copying my answers. He's totally copying my answers.
Well, don't let him see then. All right, panel, hold up your answers. And from the audience, we see that many people think it is Karshai, number 2. I see that Mod Dean has in fact copied Liam, and possibly to his detriment, because if we see what the correct answer is, it is Karshai. Over half the audience got that one, half of our mod
Don't
team.
copy me. I know nothing.
And it's a point
can't
each for
spell.
Trance and Chaos E this time.
Yeah.
So it looks like our mod panel is on level pegging after 2 questions. I'll be interested to see how the audience is done. So, to take a break from the questions for a little while, I'm going to make a mod request. And it's called A Brilliant Idea. I have here 4 absolutely awful ideas. They're terrible. It's not a good thing. We're not going to do any of these. I'd like to convince you of that first. We're not going to do any of these things. But each of our panel has 30 seconds to convince you that these are magnificent, wonderful, unmissable ideas. And so, let's start with Chaos E. Chaos E, what is your terrible idea?
I propose we delete Catherby entirely. It's taken up all that space. It's a majority of fishing town. We don't need a fishing town there. We've got the fishing guild. We've got plenty of other places to go fishing. There's a fletching shop. Who has ever visited the fletching shop to buy supplies? I don't think any of you have. We could use all of that space to build something entirely new, make something grand, make something much better than Catherby.
All right then. So, are we convinced? Well, let's wait and see, because Mod Trance now has to suggest her own brilliant idea.
Well, I think we should make party hats untradeable. So if you currently have a party hat, you can show off your prestige. And if you don't have one, well, bad luck, huh? Yeah.
I see. So we're rendering that down into a small elite group. Excellent, excellent. Let's move on now to Mod Liam. Mod Liam, what is your brilliant idea?
I think basically any player, anywhere, should be able to summon any amount of demons, greater demons, to them. Let's face it, there's not quite enough evil in RuneScape as it is. Zamorak got his face smashed in by Saradomin. That was a big blow for the forces of evil. And I just think it's up to the players now to carry his torch and make the world a darker place.
And let's not forget all that combat experience as well.
Yes.
Finally then, Mod Dean. Mod Dean, what is your brilliant idea?
Right, hope you're all high levels, because what I want to do is add a slavery skill. Anyone with level 99? Basically, anyone with a level 99, you can go Berthorpe and enlist the help of your nice new newbie slave. So, there you go.
My word. Well then, they've had their pitch, but which of them has convinced you the most? Let's start the voting now. Oh, let's not start the voting now. Let's find out what the options are first. There we go. So, number 1 for new skill slavery. Number 2 for all party hats to become untradeable. Number 3 for players may spawn greater demons at will. And number 4 for deleting Catherby entirely. Place your votes now. No heckling.
Catherby.
You're first, McClay.
All right, and time is up. So, let's see now what you think.
Is this a guaranteed content poll?
We're doing it. With that much player adulation, I think it's got to be done. So that is a point from mod request 1 for Dean. Moving swiftly onwards, question 3. How many pirate ships are named in RuneScape outside of player-owned ports? Let's be a little fair here, because if you're in player-owned ports, we could name any number you like. How many named pirate ships? 8, 10, 12, or 17? Voting begins now.
You're not copying me, dude. Unless you want to be wrong.
So, let's see what the panel think.
You copied
One. Interesting. Let's see what the correct answer is. It's 10. If you said 8, you probably didn't include the 2 that you'll find in the customs office. If you said 17, you probably included all the non-pirate ships as well. There are 17 total ships named in RuneScape. Only 10 of these are pirate ships. So, mod request 2 now. And it's said that first impressions are important, so let's have first impressions of NPCs from our panel. And let's start again with Mod Chaos E. Do an impression, please, of an NPC of your choice, and tell us what it is.
Okay, anyone who's trained the summoning skill a decent amount will know of the Karanthu Overlord. Little squid in a jar. So here we go. I'm going to take over the world from the ocean.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Mod Trance, then, your NPC impression.
I am a banker.
Yes, in my experience, that is exactly what a banker does. Mod Dean.
Oh, God. Right. Love him or hate him. I ain't even going to say his name, but... Whoa! Extra ready for the win!
Oh! Keeping it classy there, Mod Dean. And last up, Liam.
Okay, Rollo the Stout. If you've got a weak stomach, plug your ears.
Rollo the Stout. Oh, God.
Get some reverb going as well.
Oh, that's not good at all. So, let's see then, whose impression of a well-known RuneScape character was the best out of the following options. Vote number 1 for Mod Liam with Rollo the Stout. Number 2 for Mod Trance with her banker. Mod Chaos E with the Karanthu Overlord. Or Mod Dean with you-know-who. Your time starts now.
Come on. I hurt my throat with that one.
And let's see how they did. Looks like Mod Dean takes
Loser!
it. Although Mod Trance in a fairly close second place. So that's a point for Mod Dean. Mod Dean tearing away there. Question 4 then. And this is the first that's a little bit evil. What level of pie would be the best to fire from a dwarven hand cannon? If you were going to fire a pie from a dwarven hand cannon, what is the best pie that that thing could take? Is it a fish pie, a wild pie, an admiral pie, or a summer pie? Cryptic, isn't it? Your time starts now. Or not. Your time starts now. Well, let's see what people think.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Quite a disparity. But of course, the hand cannon needs level 75 to wield, and a summer pie is higher level than that. So, what do we think? What is the correct answer? It is the Admiral Pie. The Admiral Pie at level 61 is the highest level pie that isn't too high to be fired from a dwarven hand cannon. As such, that is a point each for everyone but Mod Trance. Are we up for some mathematics now? A little bit of mathematics? Let's see then. Question 5. Question 5. If each original goblin tribe sent a diplomat, one each, to each elven clan and each Zerosian fortress, how many goblins would that be in total? Now, there's quite a lot of them. Probably not that many, but you never know. So, let's see then. Voting begins now.
Random chance is going to save me, I'm guessing.
Tricky one. What do people think? Most people say 196. Some say 180. What's the right answer? It is 180. There are 8 elven clans. There are 7 Zerosian fortresses for a grand total of 12 times 15 is 180. If you said 196, you probably thought there were 9 elven clans, but the 9th of the Elven Towers doesn't have a clan associated with it. So I'm afraid no points for our mod team there, but a good third of our audience has earned themselves a little extra. I've got another mod request now. And that mod request is that one of these people is about to tell you the truth. The other 3 are about to lie horrendously. Which one do you think is telling the truth based on the following spiel? Mod Chaosy.
Okay, a lot of you will remember the Shadow of the Storm quest. Evil Dave has a basement under there that we use in Recipe for Disaster as well. Got all his hell rats. There's actually a second basement under that, actually in the game, with a few creatures, just placement creatures, placeholder creatures even. It's in the game, but you can't actually get to it.
Intriguing. Mod Trance.
Bob the cat was based on a real cat that used to live at Chagax.
A popular story. Mod Dean there.
Cool, we know you love your emotes, so we're going to actually bring you the teabagging emote.
Horrendously plausible. And Mod Liam. What's your story?
This one's a true one, I'm pretty sure. The druid Betamax was actually originally going to be called Floppy Dicks.
Floppy disk was that?
Floppy Dicks.
Yes, so clearly based on floppy disk.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So let's see what people think. Of those stories, which one do you think is true? Who has convinced you that their story was true? Is it Mod Liam with floppy dicks? Is it Mod Trance with Bob the cat? Is it Mod Chaosy with the basement under Evil Dave's house? Or is it Mod Dean with the teabag emote? Your voting time starts now. Time's up. What do people think? Mod Trance. So, interestingly, 73% of you are absolutely incorrect. Only 5% of you are right. The druid Betamax was originally going to be named Floppy Dicks, after the well-known portable storage medium drive, obviously. So that's a point for Mod Trance this round. And we move on to question 6. Question 6, how the East was done. Which of the following names in the Washanko Isles was not intended as a tribute to any single thing? Was it A, number 1, Tokoko? Number 2, the Sunlit Vale? Number 3, Flortashai? Or number 4, Yamada Island? Your voting time begins now.
I don't even know this.
And time's up. Let's see what people think. So most people think Yamada Island. Not many people think Tokoko, including our mod panel. What's the correct answer? It is Tokoko. If you're interested in the other ones, the Sunlit Vale was a reference to an indie game called Aquaria, in which this is an area. Fluttershy is based on the name of a My Little Pony character. And Yamada Island was named in honor of an ex-colleague since departed Jagex. So that's a point for 16% of our audience and none of our panel. Looks like Dean's still holding the lead, but Mod Trance is catching up.
I'm giving them a chance.
Of course, of course. So I have another mod request now. Mod request number 4. And this one's a caption contest. Let's go the other way this time. Mod Liam. Give us a caption for that.
Are you sure this is where the cook sent me to get eggs?
Where the what?
Where the cook sent me to get eggs?
Good grief. Mod Dean.
Oh no, I've lost my spoon.
Filth. Mod Trance.
Jewel wielding for the win.
Oh yes. And Mod Chaos.
Oh, the snout wrong with a bit of bacon.
Snout wrong with a bit of bacon. Lovely. But whose was the best of these 4? Was it? Of the following 4 options, was it? Let's have some options. Was it Mod Liam?
Thank you.
Was it Mod Trance? Was it Mod Chaos E? Or was it Mod Dean? Your time starts now.
Does it? There.
Personally, I'm more disturbed by the moustache that's above his nose. Anyway, let's see what people think. Mod Dean rocking it with that one, 68% of the audience's vote. And I do hope he finds his spoon eventually. Question 7, who likes a bit of combat? Anyone like a bit of combat? That's not the question, that's largely rhetorical. So, okay, those of you who like combat should know perfectly well which of the following is not one of Krill Tsaroth's bodyguards. And here are your options, and they read like a sneeze. Option 1, Tsaron. Number 2, Zaklun. Number 3, Razalai. Or number 4, Balfrog. Which of these is not one of his bodyguards? Your time starts now.
I never look at that name, so I just run away.
On the back.
Let's guess.
Okay, what do we think? What do people think is the answer? 4, 1, 3, 3. Even split between Tissanon and Razalai from the audience. Okay, what's the correct answer? It's Razalai. Yes, Tissanon is the melee bodyguard, Zaklun is the ranged bodyguard, Balfrog fires magic at you, and Razalai is Krill Tsaroth's tailor. So well done to those of you who said Razalai there, including Mod Chaos E and Mod Trance. Point each for them. Let's be evil again with the next one. Yes, let's be evil again with question 8. Question 8. Which of these following phrases can be made from the initials of the named nuns and novices of St. Elspeth's Abbey?
Get out.
Really? Problem. And here are
their
your
names.
options. Here are your options. Bad license, dice cab, cabled ice, or lace bodice. Which of those can you make using the first letters of the names of all the nuns and novices of St. Elspeth Cythered? Your time starts now. This is so meant for the boys and the ladies from the girls. Time is ticking. Let's see what people think. 1, 4, 1, 2. Quite a split again. I think quite a lot of people here just want the lace bodice. Well, let's see what the right answer
That's what you
is.
went for, wasn't it?
Yes, it is cabled ice. It is option 3. Who had option 3?
Yeah, I had 3.
Did you have 3?
Yeah, totally. No.
So yes, Cecilia, Anna, Benita, Lara, Esther, Deborah, Isabella, Katerina, and Elena are all nuns and novices of St. Elspeth Cythereed. If you add the organist, you can have a lace bodice, but she doesn't have a name. So, 27% of the audience there, which is still not bad. And it brings us very nicely on to Mod Request 5. And Mod Request 5 is a physical challenge. Ooh. So let's get you all up on your feet, mods.
Oh, cool.
And I have here a list of many emotes that you can do without the need for special props and without the need to be able to turn into a cloud of smoke and disappear or melt into the ground and reform or any sort of thing like that. So let's give them, call it a minute. All of you do as many emotes as you can think of from RuneScape in 1 minute. And the audience will judge you harshly based on originality and the number that you get through and how well you perform them. No voting yet, but your time starts now, mods. Your time starts now. 1 minute.
What the hell is that? Do I do bowing? I didn't do... Can't see
The
bowing as
teabag
well,
emote
right?
is not yet in the game.
You lost me at that.
Oh, there's a new one. Teabagging.
I remind you as well, Mod Liam, the teabag emote is not yet in the game.
Damn it.
We have
really
10
haven't
more
looked
seconds.
at that
Can they
tab.
think of any
Yes.
more?
Got some nice one. Come on, give me some answers.
Keep them coming.
Rubbish, I'm
Keep
coming
them coming. 3,
I can't fight.
2,
Yeah, how can I forget?
1,
Can't fight. More,
and
more,
your
more.
time is up.
I was going to do the backflip, but I ran out of time.
No, we can extend the time. You do it back.
Yeah. If you're going to do the backflip, then go on. Oh dear. All right, so you've seen their offerings. Who performed best? Was it 1, Mod Liam, number 2, Mod Trance, number 3, Mod Chaos E, or number 4, Mod Dean? Vote now. Chuck in the water there, take it out.
It's nerve-wracking.
And your time is up. Go on then, let's see.
God! Did you just pay everyone before?
Well,
Maybe.
it's another point for Mod Dean accelerating away once again.
Poor Liam left behind.
It's the
That's a
usual.
poor show. A reminder, there are prizes for this, so I hope you're giving it your all.
Oh, I'm giving it my best one. I know what prize are.
He's giving it all his bank account.
Splendid. Okay, back to the easy questions then, for question 9. Where in Gillinor will you find the highest concentration of monarchs? Where in Gillinor will you find the highest concentration of monarchs? Is it in Varrock? Is it on the Fremenic Isles? Is it in Falador, or is it on Waterbirth Island? Your time starts now. All right, let's see what people think. Mod Trance there, still desperately finding an answer. It's got number 1.
Can't be right.
Number 4.
This time I'm feeling lucky.
43% of you think it's the Fremenic Isles, but what is the correct answer? It's Waterbirth Island, where you will find not 1, not 2, but 3 Dagonoth kings.
Point up. I'm not last anymore, Tom.
And so that's a point for Mod Liam. No longer languishing in last place.
I am joint last.
Now joining last place, which is so much better.
It's absolutely.
It's third.
I can share the
It's
pain.
third. It's not 4th. It's good. Yes, if you said the Fremenic Isles, then you would have been right to think there's more royals, but most of them are just princes and princesses, not monarchs. All right. I've got one last mod request for you 4. I'd like you to pitch, and this is not guaranteed content, but I would like you to pitch an NPC at our audience. I'd like you to suggest a new combat or non-combat or skill-based NPC, anything you like. You've got 30 seconds to do so. Let's start with Phil, Mod Chaos E. What's your NPC?
Imagine you're on a ship. Suddenly, a giant worm rises out of the ocean. You're in a boss battle. It's rising up, it's going back down. There's only certain points you can attack it with. You've got to look for visual clues. Oh, it's doing that kind of movement. I'm going to use this particular attack. Oh, critical damage. Oh, there's a big wave washing over the boat. I've got to leg it. We've got this huge boss battle that's going to intensify over time and as you do damage. And you're going to get some tasty rewards, of course.
Tasty rewards are generally convincing. Let's see what Montrance has to say.
So I don't know if you guys have checked out the new Barrows pets, the little bobbleheads of all the Barrows brothers. I think they're so cute, and I get to QA them, which is awesome. And I would love to have a mini version of my own character, which I could dress up with armor and do its hair and everything.
Your own customizable mini you pet. Very nice, very nice. Modine.
Again, my suggestion's really self-centered. I want to suggest an insurance broker. Basically, for a nominal fee, maybe 5 mil, that covers me for all my deaths, anything I may lose due to fair death or unfair death.
For how long?
For how long? Sorry. Just for once. One insurance premium per death. So,
Per death.
yeah.
5 million to protect your stuff. Interesting notion. Mod Liam.
So, everyone knows there's way too much gold in game, so I figured a combat boss with a slight twist, we'll call it Sink Niggurath or something suitably demonic.
Gold Sink Niggurath?
But every time he hits you, instead of draining life points and things like that, he just sucks money straight at you every time.
That'll drive the value of your rares up for sure.
That'll be right.
Interesting, interesting.
Everyone will love it.
So what do we think?
Our last bank! It'll be great.
Good fight. So what do we think? Mod KLC with his boss fight at sea, Mod Trance with her customizable mini you pet, Mod Dean with his insurance broker, or Mod Liam with his gold draining, gold sink boss battle.
Sink Niggurath.
Sink Niggurath.
He's already got a name. This is guaranteed content, I reckon.
I'll vote for you.
Yeah, I'll vote for you. Why won't I'll vote for me?
Place your votes, please. Let's see what we've got.
Oh, it's so tense. Yeah, I won something!
Sink Niggurath wins the day. Although personally I'm more convinced by the mini pet, so I'm going to
See you later, KLC.
So is this guaranteed content? Should we do this? Sink Niggurath? That's all I'm working on.
It would have been if it was my idea, but...
We'll do a quick vote on the buttons at the end.
Let's not do that. Really, let's not do that. Interesting. 2 more questions for you. So let's move on to question 10. And question 10 is the common code. There's been some nice chunky updates recently, and not so recently. So which of the following releases had the largest amount of script? Not counting the models, purely the scripting code. Was it the Battle of Lumbridge? Big fight. Missing Presumed Death? Nice chunky quest. Player-owned ports? Got your ships, got your base. Or the notorious One Small Favor? What do we think? Your voting time starts now.
Quick clarification. We're talking all scripts, client side and server.
All the script, client side, server side.
I've got a slight advantage and I'll probably still get it wrong.
What do we have from our mod panel here? We've got three. Battle of Lumbridge on the end. Player-owned ports from the rest of them. What do the audience think? Overwhelmingly, player-owned ports or One Small Favor. What is the correct answer? It is player-owned ports. Player-owned ports is 4.13 megabytes just of code. And code is fairly compact stuff. World Event 1 is close with about 3.5. One Small Favor is just under a third, for those of you that are interested in keeping track. So our mod panel all gets a point, with the exception of Mod KLC. Over a third of the audience has also scored themselves 1 more point. And so we come on to the final question. And the final question will put the wind up your all. Which of the following is not a trade good known to the people of the Washanko Isles? Which of the following is not one of their trade goods? Is it ancient bone? Is it pearls? Is it spices? Or is it clockwork? Now, some of you in the audience will already be looking at those and thinking, hang on a minute. But we'll find out. Your voting time begins now. Okay, what do we think? What do we think? We all think clockwork. What does the audience think? The audience is split between pearls and clockwork. Pearls and clockwork. Although some people do think it's ancient bones, some people think it's spices. What is the correct answer? We have 2 correct answers. Although you'd be forgiven for thinking that pearls and clockwork, neither of those are in player imports. I've seen the dev environment, and I can tell you that pearls do in fact exist in the Bushenko Isles and in player imports, but we'll give you a point anyway if you said pearls. And we'll give each of the mod panel a point as well, because they all said clockwork, so that's not got anyone anywhere, really. Still at the same sort of point. So, all right then. That is the end of our questions. That is the end of our mod requests. And that brings us on quite nicely to the final scores. The final scores. And these are tracked by keypad. So if you look on the backs of your keypads...
Fifth?
Yes, we've got top 5 places.
Ah, cool.
So, these are scored first by number of questions correct, and I'm incredibly impressed that anyone managed to get 8 questions right. They are scored second of all by fastest finger. So if you've got the same number of questions right as other people, then it is the fastest response that comes before the others. All right. So I suppose all that remains to do then is to allocate some prizes. So would keypads number 389, 268 and 288 please come on up? Woo, woo. What do we got here? 288. Excellent. 389. Do we have 268 present? They're too shy to claim their reward. Okay, so let's go through the prizes then. And the prize for first place is 6 months of free RuneScape membership. Just what I've always wanted. Excellent. So, if you make sure you give your player name, please, to Justin over there. He'll before you leave. Oh, yeah. He'll take a note of that, and we'll make sure you get your free membership. If number 268 wants to make themselves known to us, we've got 3 months of free membership waiting for you. No, not a blanchiment. So, third place gets you a month's free membership. If you'd care to let Justin know before you leave the venue. And obviously, our most heartfelt congratulations to all 3. And an honourable mention to 4th place and 5th place, keypads 199 and keypads 350. Let's give all 5 of them a round of applause. And so it's just the mods to go, our mod panel. And I've got particularly special prizes here for our mod panel. These have been generously donated by Mod Maz, Queen of the Squirrels, who sadly couldn't be with us today. She has knitted a green party hat and a purple party hat. In first place, with a magnificent 8 points, Mod Dean.
Thank you.
Wins. What's the street value of that? A couple hundred quid? Not bad at all. Sharing second place.
I don't think that'll work out.
And therefore sharing the hat.
Sharing.
Mod Trance and Mod Liam.
We'll try and stretch it over both our heads.
I will have to have you either duel to the death over this,
Okay.
or agree to timeshare it,
I
or
can't
try
like
to
the duel
stretch it
idea.
over both of your heads at once.
Do we do both our heads at once? That might work.
Yeah.
What do you
Let's
think?
give it a go.
Yep. Let's see if this will work. Liam,
I don't think
go on,
Mouse.
heads together.
Go on, squeeze it
Don't
on.
they look fetching? Second and third place, Mod Liam, Mod Trance. And commiserations to Mod Chaos E over there.
Awesome.
Looking all full on.
I didn't come last. I'm really surprised.
So are we all. So all that remains now is to thank you all very much indeed for attending RuneQuiz 2013. It's been a blast up here. I hope you've enjoyed it down there. Thank you. Thank you once again. Woohoo!
So, Lee, how'd you get on?
I thought that purple party hat at the end was pretty interesting. It
Yeah,
looked kinda
very
red.
purple, very purple.
It looked
Very
kinda red.
maroon at best, wasn't it? Definitely
Probably,
red.
yeah.
That was red, that hat. Get many right?
I got about 5 right. I know a lot about the game, but some of them threw me off, so
Yeah, well,
I did okay.
Such is the nature of a quiz. Such is the nature of a quiz. If you played at home, send us a tweet, hashtag RuneFest, and then hashtag smell my quiz, because we've done a smell other things,
We did
haven't we?
sniff my gnome,
Yeah.
smell my quiz now, I guess,
Yeah,
and hashtag RuneFest3.
Yeah, details are on screen. Screen?
Screen.
Screen is the word I was looking for there. Right now, so use them, tweet it, and we'll find out what score you got. Maybe you did better than us. Almost definitely. Almost definitely. Now we are going to watch a little video because we are approaching the end of the day and the night, and there's lots still to come, and this video will tell you what is coming. Enjoy. We are now joined by Steve Wilson, who is involved in Ask Us Almost Anything. He's also a King player moderator, correct?
That's right, yeah.
That's right. So tell us what that means.
Well, basically, I'm the person at JGX that looks after our player moderators. So we're looking for, the really cool people, the really supportive people in the community, that are our advocates, that are helping people, that are, the friendly people that you're speaking to when you're in the Grand Exchange and you're asking for some help. We try and identify those people and then make them player moderators, which means they have a few additional tools if they need to deal with serious rule breaking. But essentially, they're advocates for us. They go out, spread the word, support people, and help them along their RuneScape journey.
Nice. And how many player moderators are there at the moment?
So I should know the exact number, but it's 1,900 and something, so it's just shy of 2,000. We've had quite a lot more than that in the past, but we've been paring it down and trying to make sure that we have really good people left. We're taking people from social media sites, people who are active on our YouTube and Twitter, because that's kind of reflective of the community, and we're just looking for people like clan leaders, but also just people that are just cool and just hang out and decent people.
One thing that I like that you pointed out in the insider session or the Ask Me Anything, I personally liked the fact that you said you give the people, the social media people that their love for the player moderators and stuff like that, but also you want to restore it back to actual players playing the game, and that's something that people may have missed earlier.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's one of the things I hear very often is I've played RuneScape for 8 years. I've got some very minor offences, but not too bad. It's just a little bit of swearing when I was a kid, and I'm basically a good guy. And why have I never been approached to be a PMod? And so that's a question I face a lot, and it's really hard. It's like I take my son to football matches. And he's 12, and we go there, and sometimes there's television cameras there. He thinks he's going to be on television that night, and then when we get home, and of course his face is just in a sea in the audience, and you can't really see him. And that's a bit what it's like for us looking at RuneScape players. I think the people you notice in a football crowd are the people with the banners and the crazy wigs and banging the drums, and so really that's what it's about in RuneScape.
The Newcastle fan with the gut and the NUFC.
Yeah, that's right.
Unavoidable.
So
no matter how much you don't want to see his belly.
So, in RuneScape terms, banging that drum is about going to events and being supportive and helpful and just being seen, posting on our forums. That's how you're going to get noticed, and that's how we're going to spot people.
Is there an ideal number of PMods in your head? Do you think there could be too many or too few? Is there sort of a happy...
I think rather than looking at the number, the thing we're interested in is about the time zones. And so do we have PMods in all different time zones around the world? Obviously, RuneScape's played around the world, so we'd have quite a focus on North American PMods at the moment. So we're looking for things like Spanish is particularly quite weak at the moment. We don't have very many Spanish PMods. We're always looking for Australian PMods as well. So it's really focusing on that, the time zones and where people can offer help, so that there's always PMods around to talk to and to be helpful in the game. So we don't really have a cap on the number, it's just do we have the right people in the right place.
What would you say to people who want to get involved in this?
So it is quite tricky because you do sort of have to make yourself, be seen. But there are a few top tips I could probably give. One is that you do need to have a really secure account. So you need to have JAG on your account. That's an absolute must. You won't get past our first checks if you don't have JAG. So have that enabled. Have a fairly secure account in general, and just be active. Post on our forums. And I think another thing is just to look at your other accounts as well. So just make sure that they're quite tidy. You haven't got a little account buried away somewhere that's maybe 10 years old that has a slightly undesirable name or something like that, or maybe a few offences on it. And I suppose the thing we have to say realistically as well is that if you have been involved in quite serious rule breaking, things like bug abuse and real world trading and macro use, well, we're not going to make you a PMod. That's just harsh reality check. But yeah, if you're basically fairly clean and straight, and you've played fairly, and all your accounts are fairly secure, then just post on our forums, be active, get involved in events, make yourself seen, and we will spot you one day.
Good advice. Yeah. So how did you personally get involved in it?
So I've been playing RuneScape for a number of years. I'm not very good at it, but I do play it. So it's always been a passion of mine. And so I joined Jagex in the customer service department. I was involved in dealing with the reports that players send in and offence appeals. And then I progressed into my community safety role, which is where I am now. So we specialise in keeping players safe online. And my particular sort of specialist role is to play moderators. So I'm a PMod myself. I love the PMods. I've had just had a lunch with PMods here today, which was fantastic. I had a load of beers on the end of the bar, and looked after the guys. We had a big team photo done, which was really nice out on the dock here, right outside the RuneFest venue. So that was fantastic. And it's really. I had one of my PMods. I better not say her name, but she's 70 years old. She won't mind me saying that. She's probably the oldest player here today. She was getting a 99 mining downstairs. I got all the J-mods I could around her, and we had a little bit of a celebration and a photo. Cool. And so that's really nice. But there's PMods who are 18, there's PMods who are 70. It's that whole kind of range it covers.
Nice. Yeah, and equally, there are people all around the world watching this event happen, which is incredible, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to be here. So I've been to all the RuneFests, and this one I think is the best one so far. It's fantastic.
Why is that? Why is this one so good? Is it just that you're in it at the moment, so it's like, this is all amazing?
I mean, the venue is fantastic, and it's a little bit more spread out than previous venues, so people aren't really crammed in. You've got space to walk around and meet people and stand around talking. I think that's really nice. So the venue is fantastic. Some of the things like the divination thing, that's really good. I think the insider sessions have been really interesting. This live streaming thing's quite an exciting thing that we're doing. And I think there's been a few big reveals as well. We're probably doing a bit more of that than we've done in the past. And I think that's what people really come here to see. What
have been your personal highlights from being here today? What are the things that you think, this is really fun? Was it the old lady? Old ladies always make my day. They're great. They're great. Old ladies?
I help them across the street occasionally.
That's real nice.
So you gotta be nice.
Are you allowed to do that in America? Isn't that like jaywalking?
Well, it depends where you're walking and when you're walking, but yeah, you can do it for the most part. Especially if you're like a Boy Scout or something.
Boom. In that case, get an old lady in the street.
There you go. Well, not like badly. Don't push her in the street.
Take her to the other side.
Yeah, right.
Sure. I mean, if that's where she's going.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know. My nan's an old lady actually. She's pretty old. Had a dog. It died. Well, pretty awkward. Let's move on from dead dog.
No, I think the thing for me that's been really good, and I think a lot of J-mods will say that here today, we've got this fantastic venue and all the events and everything that's going on here, but what's really special is just meeting people and putting faces to names and saying, I'm so-and-so and I'm so-and-so. People we talk to on the forums, people we talk to in game, and then just to see them in real life and chat to them, that's a real kind of special reward that you only get something like this.
All right, brilliant. Now, we're going to go to Matt again, who's been in the gaming area, finding out what is going on. Enjoy this little video.
I'm here in the gaming area with Mod Moltare. We can see the gamers behind us playing away. What exactly are they playing today?
So currently just behind me we've got the game just generally, which is like they would normally play at home. And just behind there we've got the old school section, and that's all of the old school RuneScape. I believe Mod actually coming around and kind of sorting that out, seeing what players are thinking of the game at the minute, because that's only recently launched.
And have you enjoyed meeting the fans today?
It's been an absolute pleasure getting their feedback and seeing how they use the game and what they enjoy the most out of it, and feeding that back to us.
Excellent, thank you, Mod Moltare. I'll leave you getting back to looking after the gamers. And in fact, I'm going to go and meet some of them now myself. Sam, you've been playing RuneScape for 11 years. How's it different playing actually amongst other RuneScape players than just playing at home alone?
It's nice because you get to interact with other players, you get to see, what their levels are.
I sat with Vicky, who's actually dressed as her character in the game. How are you finding it, meeting all the other gamers?
It's been really good, yeah. I bumped into someone from my clan who comes from Denmark, so that was a really nice surprise.
And you've never met them before?
No, I've never met them.
Do you reckon he recognised you because you were wearing what you're wearing in the game?
I told him beforehand I'd be in a red dress.
I'm trying. Slamming that one. Is he dead? I'm dead now. Dress.
Every time I see Matt working, I just think, he's not working, he's just chatting to people and having a laugh, isn't he? Yeah, it's just ridiculous. We're sat in here. Oh, it's very nice in here, obviously, but...
The sofa's okay.
Yeah, could be nicer. No. We haven't seen any old ladies.
No.
Now, we are joined in the studio by Chris Long, who's going to talk to us about exclusive gaming content, aren't you, Chris?
I am, yes.
So glad you said it. It would be very awkward if you said no.
Yeah.
No, bye.
Yeah. So, tell us.
All right, yeah, so today we've been demoing the Barrows 2, or the official name of Barrows Rise of the Six, down to the guys in the gaming pit. Seems to be going pretty smooth for us, not so smooth for their in-game lives.
Many people dying?
Plenty of people dying.
Good.
None of them Barrows brothers.
Good.
But yeah, it's going really well. Got some great feedback already that we're planning on to maybe implement in the next week before release. And yeah, they seem to get a great kick out of it, and it's going really well.
What have people been saying? What's the reaction been like?
It was rocky at the start because obviously it's a brand new combat encounter, so they didn't know what was going on at all.
Right.
Plenty of death, insta-death. I think the record was like 10 seconds dead.
Wow.
But yeah, as they've been getting on, a few people were behind the guys playing, having a look, trying to figure out the mechanics,
right.
getting stuck in, and then they've been getting better with time. And few teams getting pretty close to the finale.
Now, a few things. First of all, is this a team thing you can do with the team, or is it just soloable? Is this something, because obviously Barrows alone is soloable, just the regular one. So.
No, this one is team size of 4. We're trying to be, we're going to go towards more solo bosses after this one, I think. But we're going with team size 4, so it's not as intense as some of the previous stuff we released this year. However, there is a little nod to the old solo content. To get in, you need a totem, which is only available from the Barrows chest. So a little nod to getting back to the old content to visit
That's good, just to get
and then the
people back
mid-level
to the
guys can run the Barrows, provide it to the high-level guys who can buy off the GE.
It's tradable?
Yeah, the little totem to get in, and then it's taken when you jump down. So if you die, you need another one. So
Okay.
there's a bit of supply and demand there.
And also, when I first went in August to see that you were developing it, you were just in the beginning stages of it, and you were just kind of like making ideas. And you said something about a time stop attack. Is that still in there? Has anything changed since then? Like you had a kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
No,
the time stop didn't make it actually.
Oh,
Previously it was back in the.
Cool.
I know it did. Yeah, it was back in time originally. You went through like a time portal. Yeah.
Right.
I'll probably save that for the next boss.
I'm excited for that one. That's cool.
But yeah, no, this one. Yeah, it's beneath it. There's a bit of random generation. There's a really cool sort of exit strategy. It looks really cool, and every time someone plays it for the first time, reaction is always really
cool,
unexpected.
Right.
If they make it out alive. But
awesome.
Yeah, good stuff.
Cool. So when can the rest of the world get their hands on what people are playing downstairs?
Yeah, rest of the world, I believe we're updating the week of the 11th. So this month, week in a few days, really.
Oh, very exciting.
All things considered.
How rewarding is it for you to see people playing something you've personally worked on?
Yeah, I really get a kick out of it. I enjoy it. I was meant to have lunch, but I've been down there the entire day.
Just watching people play it.
Yeah, and just getting. And then I think it got to the point where a few of the guys, they wanted to see us mods have a go because they're like, this is impossible, you know. So we 3 or 4 of us and had a go at it until one of the guys that wasn't me died first, and it ended up going badly.
I hope you guys completed it.
We did in the office.
Okay.
Cool. Have the 99 parties been popular?
Yeah, they're going opposite the Barrows bit. We've got a little corner, and then there's been all sorts of other stuff going on and drawing a massive crowd constantly, yeah.
Right.
Cool. So what is your full job description?
Senior content developer.
That's pretty fancy, isn't it? Bet you've got that on a little card.
You should make cards.
You should make cards.
Everyone should have a card.
I've been handed a RuneScape business card.
If I had a title like that, which I definitely don't, and I put that on a card, my mum would be so impressed.
I like to think my mum's impressed anyway.
We've got different parents. You've not met my mother. She's an angry, angry woman. So, what does that mean? What do you actually do?
I get to make content as the guys downstairs are experiencing hopefully positively. But yeah, it comes from design. You know, they give us a lot of freedom. We get to play around with what we'd like. This was meant to be originally the Super Barrier Brothers, which I wasn't a massive fan of. Took it in their own direction. They approved it. We had a bit of back and forth. Obviously have to implement the thing, work closely with graphics. There's like random generated bits to this bit of content specifically. I had to work really close with graphics to make sure the dungeon lines up and stuff like that. Ship it to QA, document it all, make sure they understand what the hell is going on, right. What numbers they're meant to be, you know, getting hurt for and damage and how it all works, and then shipping it to release. Obviously this is a pre-release sort of thing. They got to sit here, so that's an exciting thing for us because we get to, you know, release is always a good time because you get to interact with the players in the game, see what they're thinking, see how they're dying, see what they think, feedback, you know, initial reactions, and that's sort of you know, what we're experiencing today. So it's a first look at that, which is it's really good, yeah. Because
now, being a senior content developer, you probably get a lot of negative feedback sometimes, and just obviously everything. I mean, I make YouTube videos and I get negative feedback all the time, like, oh, you missed a game tick there, or oh, you said something wrong, or you know. So
you make a lot of mistakes, Lee.
Oh, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone makes. You got to be human. If you make mistakes, you're human. So how do you receive negative feedback? How do you handle that? Because I mean, I think you have very thick skin because you have to be a content developer. You have to kind of have a thick skin.
That's pretty much the answer. Thick skin, but you got to roll with punches. And also, I like to think of myself taking on feedback a lot. Like I run threads on the forums and I look at what's griping people, and you know, don't want to say like past mistakes, but you learn from what you've implemented, what people like, specifically boss mechanics. I know that people don't like more random stuff. They like to have an idea of what's coming at them. You just go with that, and I've got like, you know, completion escaping games, so I've got a lot of game knowledge. So I like to think I know what people like because I think I know what I like.
That's what I like to think too.
Exactly,
just being a completion escape owner, you think, you know, I think.
I don't want to say that's the way, but you know, it gives you a better idea and a very good insight. Obviously.
As long as you have better background knowledge of it, that's what's the best. So.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Yes.
Nice. Now let's watch a video to find out what is coming up over the next hour. So guys, what are you most excited about happening? What we've just seen on that list, the little menu.
I want to see the Golden Gnomes. I'm presenting an award, so that's going to be exciting.
Which award are you presenting? That is exciting.
I am going to be presenting the Best Live Streamer Award with
Cool, and who's going to win it?
You think I can just say that on a live stream right now to 10,000 people?
75,000.
7,500.
10,000 wonderful people. Yeah, tell them.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
That's why they never respect you, Lee. That's why they complain on your YouTube channel, because you won't tell them.
That's very true. Probably. I can't. They'll see when we stream it. So.
Well,
hopefully, can I win the award? That'd be nice.
I don't know. You dishing it out. I don't think you can go. And the winner, the Golden Gnome
winner is, and just.
You're not going to believe it. He looks like Tintin, and he's got a lovely smile. It's me.
That would work. That would be good.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Lee won't tell us, but we will show you what is going to happen. Here is a little teaser of the next Insider session.
My Insider session is going to be all about the exciting content that we've got planned for 2014. Players love to hear about all of the exciting content that we've got planned. It gives me the opportunity to see their reactions firsthand as I present some of the coolest things that we've got planned for the first time. The Queen Black Dragon, the Calfight King, player-owned ports. Those were all things we announced at previous RuneFests. And this year, we've got even more juicy details to give away to the players. You'll have to come to the session if you want to hear all the details. But I can tell you now that I'm going to be talking about the new skill, a massive quest, and some really cool things to do with mini-games in the session. There's always a lot of speculation in the game and on the forums about exactly what we're going to be doing in the future. The only way to know for sure is by watching the 2014 teaser sessions.
Exciting stuff.
Yep, very exciting. I'm just really, really excited for this. This is probably the most exciting thing out of all of the Insider sessions that I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see what Mark has in store for 2014.
What in particular? What do you really want to see?
Well, he mentioned the skilling boss earlier on the live stream, and that's something that I personally suggested. So that's going to be really cool to see if I can actually, if I can have a part in that, or if I can help with that. So that'd be really awesome just to do that.
And who are you giving an award to?
I can't just give that away, man. We'll see it. We'll see it later.
Fine. Okay, so next, aside from the thing you hope happens because you were involved in it, what else do you want?
I just want to see, he said he has 18 months of content lined up to share with us, and just obviously not all of the content, but the main things of the 18 months. So I'm just looking forward to seeing everything. It's just going to be overwhelming with all the things he has to offer. So I'm extremely excited. As a player, I'm mind blown right now. I can't wait.
Okay. Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
What's this?
What?
It's a dead one of them. There you go, Tommy Cooper. Awesome stuff. Right, let's go to the next Insider session. Let's find out what's going to happen. Let's find out what's going to happen in RuneScape 2014.
I'm going.